to Beyond the Screen. I almost said go get that room. This is a great start. I am your host, Sara. Welcome back. I'm so tired. I feel like every time I start the show, it's just a shit show, so that's just what people need to expect from now on. With me, as always, to kind of hold the fort down, help me out when I lose my mind. Let's start with Mike. Mike, hello.
Hey, I'm here. Sarah, I'm also tired.
Yay! Welcome.
Looking like a Bond villain tonight.
Check the YouTube video if you want to see what I look like, folks. Hey.
Like Bond villain. He said AA. And my, I was going to say my partner in crime, but I feel like you make fun of me more than not. So the opposite of my partner in crime.
I'm
Shawn.
like the Joker to your, I'm like the Joker to your Batman, I think.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah.
Or you're the Joker to my Batman. I don't know.
I'll be the Joker to your Batman.
Okay. Hi, I'm broadcasting from a different location than normal because they're painting my house and they're taking a while to paint it. So
the inside or the outside?
The inside, all the rooms, because we're selling it.
Oh. Is it like that SpongeBob episode where they take like forever to... You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That episode used to stress me out.
Well, I was going to be back home on Monday. And I'm not.
Is
so
not
hopefully,
your home?
I'm at my grandparents' house.
You have your own room at your grandparents'?
I have a basement.
Okay.
That
because it looks like it could just be your room. So that's why I was like.
So I used to live here, and then I moved back in with my mother, and I still have not cleaned this room out. It still has all my old shit in it. Right here.
Oh my goodness, Shawn.
It's the Megazord. And you think like, oh man, this must be a toy from when Shawn was like a child.
No, you bought it recently.
I bought this like a year ago.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, look, a transformer.
I remember Shawn talking about it on the podcast called
Yes,
Into
I
the
did talk
Grid.
about it when I got this. Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, this is the show that we today's show, we're just going to really shoot the shit and talk about a bunch of random stuff. We were going to do our movie exchange, but we're pushing that back to next time because we all kind of waited to the last second, of course. So not that that's going to change and I'm still going to wait to the last second next time.
That's just who you are.
Me too.
It is who I am. I procrastinate.
All right, Mike, you also procrastinated.
Yeah, wait a minute, Mike. How much longer did you have?
Sorry, yeah,
Did he finish his movie?
No. We're all the same.
No.
That's why this podcast is perfect because all of us are terrible.
To be fair, I also put on myself. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I actually have never seen Little Shop of Horrors. And well, okay, so I gave it to you because that was the last musical I was ever in 6 years ago. So I also I love the music, so I wanted someone to watch it. So I started watching the movie, and it's literally word for word the same. So technically, I have seen it. So
you've been in it.
I bet I've lived it. I've lived the experience. But so I'm trying to watch. I was trying to watch both of the movies, and it just...
I haven't even started Little Shop yet.
Wow, you're in for a treat. You're going to hate me. I think you're going to hate me so much.
It's a wild film.
It's something. I love it.
I love it, too.
Do you know what my only exposure to Little Shop of Horrors is?
What?
No.
Come on, Sarah. Come on.
I feel like I should know.
They sang one of the songs on Glee.
They did. Suddenly Seymour?
They did Suddenly Seymour. Yeah. And like season 7 or like really late in the show. Like
always comes back to Glee.
I was going to talk about, I think I brought it up before, how The Office did the Sweeney Todd episode. That's what I think about all the time.
I like that episode.
That is a really good episode. I actually just showed my husband the two clips of Sasha, that guy. Yeah, I can't think of his name, singing, because we just watched Ricky Bobby, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, and I was like, do you know he can sing? And my husband's like, no. So I showed him Sweeney Todd and Les Mis, and I was like, here you go. Because he refuses to watch Les Mis. So
I always forget he's in Les Mis.
Yeah.
With Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah,
right?
they're both in both movies.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, she's got to be in every like quirky, weird musical. I don't know. It's really, she's the James Corden of the female James Corden, or used to be. I guess not anymore.
James Corden, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. To be fair, I feel like that was the beginning of James Corden's like musical.
He's not bad in Begin Again.
No,
he doesn't
really
like
good.
sing in it, does he?
I think so.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I
feel like he's very toned down, if I remember.
Well, because he's like a character that has like 5 minutes of screen time throughout the entire movie. Like he's barely...
her like best friend, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike's like, we'll talk about it next time. My hatred of James Corden. Do you want to get into some things that we've done in our spare time?
Do we want to talk about Mike's new job first?
Woo! Tell us the deets.
Yeah. As of this recording, it's been a full week of working at my job, and it's exhausing.
Welcome to the grind.
Mike, when did you wake up today?
3:30 a.m.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like 3:30 p.m.
No.
Oh no.
And it's like 8:40 for you right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Good for you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Yeah, I have to get up early to get myself ready and take my ride to work, and I get there about 5:30, and my shift starts at 6 Central, and I work till 2:30 Central. So it's like 8 hours, 8.5 hours. And I watch 8 hours of television, basically programming CBS and Fox in my local area. So
that sounds fun, though.
It's daytime television. So if you like game shows and soap operas and local news,
I do.
If you like the bold and the beautiful,
and young and the restless.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't do ABC? That's General Hospital. 3:00.
No, it's CBS and Fox. We have
3:00. You know the times there.
My mom loves General Hospital. It's 3:00. Bold and the Beautiful, I think, is like 1:30.
It is.
Or Young and the Restless is 1:30. One of them is 1:30. Yeah. There's some. Then they like crossed over. Like some of the people from Young and the Beautiful like went to General Hospital. And,
that's often a thing.
It's a very.
Don't they do like 5 episodes a week?
They do, they do one episode every day.
Crazy. Filming that must be insane.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
it's a gig.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's exhausting, kind of like, because you look at a computer screen for like 8 hours as well, because you're trying to, because you get like promos sent to you. You have to kind of put those into the computer, into the playlist for that to play on air. You have like commercials come in spots, and you have like syndicated programming, because I think Fox we put in like Modern Family, or like a lot of those stupid daytime stuff on Fox is like they put like the judge shows, like Judge Mathis.
Watch your Mathis. Judge
Judy, my girl.
Judge Judy.
My
yes,
girl,
Judge
Judy.
Yes, we programmed that into the Fox lineup. It was just like fucking Judge Judy. I get those promos all the time. I'm watching. I'm like, you people, Judge Judy, what are you doing?
Why are people still watching this show?
And then there's like, there's even like Judge Jerry Springer has a judge show. For some
my
reason.
god!
I forgot about that.
Jerry.
It's
Murray.
When are we gonna get Judge Phil, dude?
For real. He's not even a real doctor.
I know. I went to
Yeah.
I think I've talked about when I went to see the Jonas Brothers. His son opened for them, and he was
Dr.
there.
Phil?
Yeah, Dr. Phil's son. He goes by Jordan McGraw, but he's Dr. Phil's son, and he opened for the Jonas Brothers in 2019.
Wow.
And Dr. Phil was there. He was down in the VIP section.
Wow.
I was
that
not. I
is
was
a
in the
crossover.
stands. I was in the stands with the rest of the plebes. But
was it a good show, or Jonas Brothers?
it was a great show. I mean, if you're like our age and like the Jonas Brothers, then it's a great show.
2019. That's when they came back too, right?
Yeah,
They
it
went
was
back
their.
to it, yeah.
It was when they came back. I took my older sister to go see it.
And they're on tour again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I was supposed to go with my little sister this time, but I was so overwhelmed with work that I gave my tickets to my stepdad, and I was like, "You take her, because I can't go. I can't leave the house right now." So,
yeah, I'm just tired now because I have to get up early every fucking morning and clock in, clock out, and try this whole experience with podcasting now in between. So
with the morning shift too, which is
yeah. So yeah, been watching daytime television, which there's not much to tell. I mean, like if you like The Price is Right.
I love the Price is Right.
Sarah, you're a 70-year-old.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
I will admit, watching it now, actually, it's weird. They're still doing the social distancing thing.
Oh, really?
You see them all spaced out on the stage, and the way they're doing the seating is weird too. And you sometimes see Drew in the corner. It's like, you stand over there on that spot. You stand over there in that corner. And it's like, oh, they're still doing that, even though they're not wearing masks while taping it. It was just.
What's the one after Price is Right with Wayne Brady? Is that
Let's Make a Deal?
Let's Make a Deal. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing too with Let's Make a Deal, and they also have people from home. It's like, you can win at home.
That's
people
weird.
Call in.
Dude, I definitely,
It's
if I'm doing
weird.
that, I got like a fucking Prometheus board behind my computer. I'm looking up answers, dude. If I'm playing
and then we got
home,
what's the Millionaire? What's
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah, does Chris Harrison still host that? Didn't he host that for a while?
I think he still does.
Is that
Probably.
CBS?
We don't.
He got fired from The
Who
Bachelor,
Wants
so
to
he
Be-
had to have something else.
The other game show that we get at it's probably 9-10 Eastern is
I actually think that's ABC. So never mind.
25 words or less.
I think it's Regis Philbin, right?
Regis died.
Oh. Damn, that's sad, dude. That's sad.
God, Shawn.
He died last year.
Jimmy
Kimmel
Kimmel hosts it. Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
Get this man back to nighttime. When was he Jimmy Kimmel? I actually really like Jimmy Kimmel.
Dude, I don't watch daytime television, okay?
Apparently I do.
Yeah. Apparently so. Oh, yeah, that's just what I'm doing with my work and life, and I'll try to be on this show as much as possible. There might be some where I won't be able to, and I'm going to be sleeping.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah. What are you guys watching? Or watched?
So, do you want to start with Dune, Sarah, or do you want?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, we can build up to
I
it.
figured.
No, I mean, we could do it now. I don't care.
All right, let's do it now.
Okay. Dune came out, in case people haven't noticed. I've seen it. I went to the theaters and saw it. Sarah, you've seen it. Mike, you haven't seen it, right?
I don't have time to watch a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, I didn't. It's like a
2.5 hours.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I wanted to be nice and ask, bro.
I will get around to watching it eventually.
Sarah,
I will, but I don't care.
Did you watch it on HBO Max?
Yes, I did. I watched it the way he intended it at home on my TV. And also on my phone 20 minutes before we start recording. So you're welcome.
Sarah, I'm really glad because I'm really tired of the fucking you gotta go to the theater. Or
Yeah, I'm
else
really
you're
tired
a
of
bad
people
person.
making me feel bad for watching
Yeah.
this at home. At least people watched it. Like, that's all that mattered. And I feel like more people were able to watch it since it was on HBO Max than they would have gone to the theaters.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. So
give these things being more widely accessible to people is not a bad thing.
Yeah. I agree.
People that want to go to the theater will still go to the theater. And even people that are like, if people have any desire at all to see a movie in the theater, they will go and see it in the theater, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there are a lot of people that would have gone and seen this movie in the theater, but decided instead to watch it on HBO Max, unless it was like a COVID concern thing, you know. But I think for a lot of people, nobody was like, I really want to see this movie in theaters, but it's just more convenient to watch it in HBO Max. I feel like most people, if they're like,
I mean, that's how we work.
Yeah, was that it?
Well, we have two AMCs by us, and they're both really shitty. And I'll talk about my experience at one for later. So, and my husband has a really nice, like $1,200 TV.
There you go.
So we're like, it's way better than the screens, and we're just going to watch it at home. So
there you go.
You still
and I could
HBO
pause
money.
it and ask questions because I had a lot of questions. So
you got, you said you had questions in the chat.
I just have questions. I was confused about a lot. The first time I watched it, I was very confused. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, it's very quiet.
So how did you like it?
I love it.
You loved it? Okay.
So for me, I need to watch movies a couple of times because
this is a dense one too.
It is dense. The first time I watch a movie, I've noticed that I'm kind of like trying to figure out where the story's going to go and not really paying attention to it. And then when I go back and watch it again, I'm like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Like with Black Widow, when I watched it a second time, I was like, okay, now I know what's going to happen. I can actually pay attention to what's happening. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're guessing like what's going on. Especially this movie is long, and halfway through I was like, oh, because me and my husband were like, okay, this must be getting towards the end. And then it went on for 40 more minutes.
So
I was like,
is it safe to say we're going to talk spoilers, Mike? I think you said you don't care.
No, I don't. And for
Okay.
listeners and watchers, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we're gonna talk spoilers for a story that's 60 years old, and
true.
We only saw the first half of.
The majority of people have not read the book, Shawn,
and it's been out for a week, so
it's one of the most popular science fiction books of all time. I think more people have read Dune than you would expect.
Probably.
Crazy.
It's not like Marvel Comics or anything. It's like it inspired. I mean, hey, also I don't love the book. I've read it. It was good.
Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I thought the movie was fine. I thought the movie was a good adaptation of the book. It cuts out a lot of, I would say, important subplots. Actually, it doesn't really cut out that many important subplots. It's just the one that it does, I think, is vitally important to some of the Dr. Yue, the doctor that portrays House Atreides.
Spoiler.
Like I already said spoilers, but a big part of the beginning of the book is who's the traitor, and they don't know, and everybody's kind of suspecting each other. There's a long stretch of book where like Gurney is like, it's the fucking Bene Gesserit witch. It's Leto's wife. She's here to kill us all. She's trying to kill Paul, and like he's like ready to kill her. Like he's so sure. Aww. Like Paul. It's a very in-depth plot line that stretches throughout a majority of the beginning of the book, and in the movie it's just like
revealed.
Yeah, it's Yue. It's Yue. Yeah. Yue's doing it. And you're like, oh, okay. And like, there is no tension between the members of House Atreides, and nobody's like thinking that there's a traitor or anything. It just kind of all snowballs. Liet Kynes' arc, the emperor, the Judge of the Change, the Emperor's Judge of the Change, I think is what her title is a male in the book, but it doesn't matter that they changed they changed Dr. Kynes to being a woman. It doesn't change anything. But she's the character who was like, she loved a Fremen, and then she dies.
I literally have no idea who you're talking about, and that's part of my issue with this movie.
The one that is like that pulls out the hooks and then gets killed.
Oh, the one that's gonna ride the...
Yeah, that was
worm.
gonna ride the worm, but then gets killed.
I want to see her ride the worm!
So her death scene in the book, well, his death scene in the book, is like just him crawling across the desert, dying, talking to a hallucination of his father. And it's really good.
Damn.
And it also explains a lot about like what spice is and kind of how it is possible to terraform Arrakis, and that there is water down there underneath the sand, and like there's a lot of important stuff in that scene. And in the movies, they just have her be like, "I'm gonna ride the sandworm." Oh no, actually, I'm dead.
Yeah,
the Sardaukar got me. Yeah, I think it's almost a perfect adaptation. I think if you had like 15 to 20 more minutes, you could bring in all the scenes that.
No.
I think 15, 20 minutes would still keep it under 3 hours.
Under 3, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like I think it'd be fine personally. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I want the second half. Like,
oh yeah,
all the cool stuff happens in the second half.
Let me talk serious stuff, and then I'm going to talk stuff to make you mad. Okay. So serious stuff. This movie is beautiful, obviously.
It is.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited for the Batman because it's the same cinematographer.
Yes.
It's insane. The score, I love the score. We kind of made fun of the Kurt Hamill singing. Yeah. But watching it, there's the one point where I didn't know who did the score before I watched it. And there's one point where it sounded a lot like Inception. And I was like, is this Hans Zimmer? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, it is Hans Zimmer. I feel like
He's
it's
in
something...
the movie.
Is he really?
He's the dude playing the bagpipes when they arrive on Arrakis.
Really?
Yeah, that's Hans
which
Zimmer.
I also thought was hilarious. I'm like, why the fuck are there bagpipes?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the score is feels like a different score from him, which I really like because I feel like for a while a lot of his stuff is all the same. Yeah, and the violins and strings like he loves, and the people singing in the background like he loves that shit. But I really, really like this. I like the atmosphere. This movie is so long. Let's talk casting, baby.
Okay.
So, I brought up in our discussion when we talked about this last week. I cannot and will not get over the fact that the main character's name is fucking Paul, and everyone else has these like elaborate names, and his name is Paul and Jessica, and it's because they're human, right? Because they're from Earth, like Greece. I think I read or something.
He's like his dad's name is Leto or Leto.
Even that's a little bit more like eccentric than fucking Paul.
The fucking head of the guard or one of the most important soldiers is Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, that too. Duncan, Idaho.
God damn it. My fucking
The ghost
the ghost of Duncan, Idaho.
He said, "Hey, don't make fun of my name."
Yeah, he said they fight like demons. All the important stuff happens when we're awake. Those scenes aren't not all of his scenes. Cheesy. Not all of Duncan's scenes are in the book. They actually gave him a couple more, which was nice. To kind of characterize him a little bit more than the book does, but yeah.
Fucking Paul. Let's talk about fucking Paul. Actually,
I'm gonna Paul Atreides. I hate him.
I'm gonna wait. We'll talk about Paul last. So the cast for this movie is absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy. My question is, with realizing watching on the second watch, what was his name? Gurney Thanos?
Halleck. Gurney Halleck.
Okay, who is this man?
Josh
Why
Brolin?
do they keep talking about him singing? And you brought it up.
He didn't sing.
Because Timothy goes, "Oh, you here to sing?" or something like that when they're like fighting.
He sings a lot in the book.
This
he carries around a guitar and he sings a lot.
Is he like supposed to be this angry military man, or is he like joyful? Is he like the guy in The Witcher, like the cast of Coin to Witcher guy? Like,
no, he's supposed to be like the kind of angry character that he is in the movie.
Okay, he just sings.
And he sings also. He's like a religious man, I believe, if I remember. Like, he knows a lot of like old songs and stuff. But he's I would expect you'll see him again in part 2.
That was my other question.
Very surprised if he doesn't.
Did he die?
Back.
Where did he go? He just kind of disappears.
He does just kind of disappear.
Me and my husband were like, "Where did he go?"
They should have. They probably should have brought him back in when we saw the Harkonnens had taken the palace or whatever. Yeah. But he's still alive.
Okay.
I would be surprised if he did not come back in the second half because he's got a pretty large role to play still.
Oh, good. Probably my least favorite character, but probably because he didn't really have a lot to really do, except a lot of setup in the beginning. A lot of setup in the beginning. Mm-hmm. With that, I think the exposition was done very well in this because you have Timothy. I'm just going to keep calling him Timothy. Timothy, like, learning about... I think Timothy's funnier.
What are they
learning about the world and stuff, and I just like how they did it. It was very interesting. We talked about Duncan, Idaho. Jason Momoa, great, very good in this movie. Dave Bautista kind of takes me out a little bit because it's just Dave Bautista. We got
I
don't know any of their names. Literally, the only name I know is Paul and Jessica.
Kwisatz Haderach.
Sure, I literally don't know.
That's Paul's title.
David something Malchin guy.
David Malchin. He's great. Yeah, Des Malchin.
Yeah,
Des
can't say it.
Yeah.
Love him. Okay. What's her name? Jessica.
Yeah, I love
Rebecca
Jessica.
Ferguson?
Yeah. Much
great.
Yeah. One of my favorite characters in the book. And they cut out a terrible scene with her from the book that I was so happy about. When they're in the Thopter and they're like trying to escape, and the Harkonnens are like flying out, they're gonna kill him.
Spoiler.
Paul uses the voice to get one of them to take off her gag. In the book that was written in the 60s.
Oh no.
She then uses the voice to get the Harkonnens to kill each other for a chance to have sex with her.
Oh, yeah.
And I hated it. I hated that scene because it's such an outlier to the rest of her arc in the book. Like, it's just, I hated that. I hated that scene so much. And
yeah, God, it wasn't like that.
In the movie, she's just like, kill him. Like, and it's so much better. It's so much better. I saw some people online that were saying like the scene where they're changing into the still suits. They're like, what were those looks they were giving each other? That was kind of weird. And when I was watching the movie, I was like, if I did not know why she's looking at him like that, I would find this kind of weird. And she's just kind of terrified of him because he's a terrifying person.
I figured she was like uncomfortable because that's her son that she's like getting naked in front of. Like,
yeah, she's also uncomfortable because he's. Is that after the scene in the tent? It is where he.
Woo!
They
scene in the tent.
Like, do you get what he's saying in that scene in the tent?
When he's like
freaking out.
Kind of.
What he's saying is that the path that they're on and him becoming the like prophesized person that the Bene Gesserit have established will lead to a jihad across the universe and will kill millions and billions of people will be left dead in his path. Like that's what he sees in the future.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are having a lot of conversations about this movie, how they think that it's kind of like a white savior trope and that it's kind of like a positive showing of colonialism, which I think because it's only the first half of the story, the message is a little muddied, but what you're definitely supposed to get out of it is that Paul is bad news for Arrakis and the galaxy in general, and that this dude should not come to power.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to come to power.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It doesn't seem like Paul is convinced that he is the right person either.
Yeah, no, it's the way they talk about his future sight in the book is so much. In the book, he talks about how he sees pathways in front of him, and in pretty much all of them, if he doesn't just die early, then it will lead to just a fucking war across the universe where billions will die. Yeah. And that no matter what happens, if he becomes the Messiah that the Bene Gesserit have set him out to be, it's going to be bad news bears for everybody. Yeah. So
I think it is after the scene in the tent. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, and she's looking at him like,
yeah, what the fuck?
And in the book, you get so much more of his dialogue. Like in that scene at the end when she's like, take him with you and teach him the ways of the desert and stuff to Stilgar. In his internal monologue, he's going, she doesn't know it, but she's setting the end of the universe into motion with these actions. And he's just kind of like, this is kind of why I hate him.
Is he reluctant, or is he just kind of like, yeah, whatever's going to happen is going to happen? Like, you know,
in the book, he's like, man, my life is awful. I'm going to kill everybody. And I'm just like, dude, shut up. Oh my God. I hate Paul Atreides. I think he's the most boring, annoying character I've ever read in a book, because he just spends the entire book being like, I'm going to kill everybody. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And it's terrible that I can see it. And that's what's going to happen. And I'm like, every other character in this book is more interesting than you are, dude.
So what did you think of Timothée Chalamet and his performance?
I'd buy that he'll kill everybody in the galaxy. I'd buy that he'll snap and kill everyone.
Yeah. So let's talk about Dear Timothy. The only other thing I've ever really seen him in is Lady Bird, and he is great in Lady Bird. I've never seen Call You by Your Name or
he's good on Call Me by Your Name.
Little Women.
Yeah.
And that SNL sketch with Pete Davidson, where like, yeah. That's
so yeah.
You never. Anyway, I love that sketch. But and I feel like in every role, and all the young teen girls are obsessed with this skinny white
twig.
Literally, he looks like he's like malnourished. Like he doesn't have enough vitamins. Like
yeah, he's becoming the new Willy Wonka.
I literally
Willy Wonka. Yeah,
I know. I literally didn't understand the obsession. I'm like, this little boy. Like
he's a good actor.
This movie, only this movie, changed my mind about young Timothée Chalamet. I like a young, skinny, depressed, angsty boy.
Future mass
and
murderer.
young. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're the same age, so that's future mass.
Future mass murderer.
Okay, I like Kylo Ren. We love Kylo Ren. We love Paul. We love those kind of characters.
I don't love Paul. I hate Paul. Not because he's a mass murderer, just because I think he's boring.
Well, we're talking about young Timothy. So I looked at my husband and I was like, I would love to see him play Anakin. Like, I think he'd be great.
Yeah, he'd be really good as Anakin.
Really good. But he is a really good actor. Like, there's just things he just plays that very like subtle. He's a very, very subtle actor. And at first, like in the beginning, it's very just kind of like he's a little clueless.
Like the scene with the Gom Jabbar, with the hand in the
that's the scene that like changed everything for me. Because I was like, holy shit. This guy can act. Like, it's incredible. His face, he's in complete control of like his face and like but like from watching it from like the acting standpoint, like he is so good and he really just like carries this movie. Doesn't care. I mean, they all do a good job, but he's going up against so many powerhouses, and especially Rebecca Ferguson is also amazing, and they're just like going back and forth with their performance. It's great. So now I understand internet. Chalamet is great. The other last person I want to talk about is Oscar Isaac in this movie is so hot. I was
Duke.
so distracted this whole movie. Especially when he's fucking naked. I was like, holy shit. He's just sitting in a chair and I was like, is he naked right now? He was very much you don't see anything. Speaking
of the Duke Atreides,
love him.
The boar head that they keep showing.
Yes.
That's the boar that killed his father.
Okay.
And he displays it. Like that's a thing in the book. They're like, there's a big dinner scene, and I think Jessica's like, will you fucking get rid of that thing? And he's like, it's a message. He's like, that thing killed my dad, and I fucking have its head on my wall now.
I loved him. I thought he was great. Yeah, that's just hot.
God, his death is pretty
great.
Man.
Yeah. Goes out the way he came in, naked.
Leto it's so annoying that they cut out the big traitor subplot, because Leto's got a really good part to play in that, where he is in control the entire time of it. Like, everybody around them is like, dude, there's a traitor inside of the fucking House Atreides. And he's like, guys, they're clearly playing with us. Like, they want us to get all mad at each other. Just keep it chill. Keep it cool. Stop trying to say you want to kill my wife. Okay. Well, not my wife, because they're not married. But
they're not married?
No, they talk about it in the movie slightly when he says, I should have married you. She's
I thought they were married. Oh.
No, they never got married.
So is that not his mom? No, that's
his mom, but they just never got married. There was a reason in the book, but I can't remember why.
Oh.
For some reason, they never got married.
Will we find out who she's baby that is? Isn't she pregnant?
It's the Dukes.
It is the Duke. But why does he have blue eyes? Or she has blue eyes? In the
kid?
No, the kid. No, I mean, she had blue eyes. In the dream, we see.
In the dream? So they don't talk about this. Why they might have talked about this. The blue eyes is because of the spice.
Yeah, they said that.
And you stay. So they didn't talk about this, and I'm almost positive they talked about this already in the book. But the blue, you don't just. Well, actually, they kind of show it. They show it in the scene when at the digger, when the digger gets like attacked by the worm. You don't just need to like inject spice or whatever. Just living on Arrakis, eventually your eyes will turn blue because you're breathing it in all the time.
Okay, so it was like a future thing.
When he has this vision of the future of his eventual jihad, they show that he has blue eyes and she has blue eyes because it's the future. And they've been on Arrakis for a while at that point.
I was just confused.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yep.
But yeah. Oh, my last question for you was: you read the book before you watched the movie.
Yep.
So do you think that the casting was what you pictured? Or did you already know the casting before you read it?
I knew the casting before I read it, but not all of it. Okay. The casting for the most part is I mean, I guess the only thing is that like they changed the gender of Dr. Kynes. So obviously I was not imagining a woman when I was reading the book. But for the most part, Dr. Yue's a lot younger in this than I imagined him. I imagined him being a lot older. Stilgar looks a little bit younger than I envisioned him as well. I just did not see Chani looking like that at all. Zendaya's character. They said her name, I think.
I forgot about Zendaya.
Yeah, which
the perfume ad that she was filming, everyone keeps saying.
Yeah, the marketing really put her front and center. And I was watching the marketing the whole time going, she's only going to be in the last like 5 minutes of the movie. Like, what are they doing? Why are
she looks great. She looks gorgeous. Like
part 2, baby.
And Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem is as Stilgar. Yeah.
Oh yeah. does not look. It looks unrecognizable, honestly.
Stellan Skarsgård as the Duke Vladimir Harkonnen
Also looks like
the way he floats around is how I envisioned in the book, and I really liked it.
Oh, Jay called him what was his name? Marlon Brando.
Did he?
I thought that was on Twitter. I thought that was really funny. I was like, dang.
Do you have any other questions?
No, not about Dune.
All right, Mike, I think it's time you get to talk.
Oh, I got some questions.
Oh, okay.
Who the fuck is Paul?
No, I'm just gonna kind of walk around Dune here because there's it's well, sort of. Have you seen the first film adaptation of Dune directed by
David
I didn't
Lynch? Fucking watch that shit. No.
Should I?
It's oh man, that film. Kevin McCloy plays the lead. You have Patrick Stewart in there. Sting from The Police is in it.
Does Sting play Gurney?
I don't remember.
Well, now I have to watch it.
And you see this. You see Sting in like almost naked as well.
Sting?
Like,
No, he plays Fade Routha. Fade's not in the movie yet.
Naked?
almost. And there's
Him
a
and
scene I
Oscar
remember
Isaac.
where it just like freaking shirtless.
Probably in the Gladiator arena. I think that's how they introduce Fade in the book.
We
He's in
didn't
the
see
Gladiator
that.
arena. Nope, that'll be part 2.
Yeah, the 80s Dune is just not.
Oh, Kyle MacLachlan.
Just it's a weird and wild film trying to adapt that story, but I mean David Lynch did his best with it as possible. Going around that even further, how many Denis Villeneuve films have you both seen?
This I think was my first one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen another one.
You've never seen Prisoners?
No.
Oh my god, so good.
I keep meaning to watch Arrival because that seems right up my alley. But
Arrival's great too.
Arrivals is great. It's my favorite.
Arrival's really good.
It's really good.
I think that's all I've seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his movies except for this one.
I've seen probably 3 of them. 2.
Denis.
Have you seen Sicario?
No, but I've seen the sequel.
What?
I've seen it was on TV.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking, how did you manage to get to see the sequel?
Or Blade Runner?
Day of the Soldado.
It was.
I haven't seen Blade Runner.
It was 3. I've seen Sicario, Arrival, and Blade Runner 2049.
No one has seen Prisoners? Oh, you guys have to watch Prisoners.
It's on Hulu. It's actually I have a plan with Prisoners because I have a like a double feature I plan on with that film. There's
it's it's a movie. David S. Monchin is or whatever his name is also in that movie. And Hugh Jackman has a great performance. I'm trying to get my husband to watch it, but anyway.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. Definitely watch it.
Movie. Watch it.
Okay, I'll talk more because I've only tried to watch 2 things. One of the things I'm working on is rewatching a anime in lead of Netflix's new live action anime series, Cowboy Bebop. I'm rewatching Cowboy Bebop, and
excuse me.
I fucking love Cowboy Bebop, and I'm excited to see the Netflix show that's coming out in a month. So I'm just watching.
It looks good. I thought the trailer looked fun.
Yeah, it has the feeling of Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, they spot on that the scenic shots are beautiful. John Cho as Spike Spiegel is like,
I love him. John Cho,
really?
not Spike Spiegel.
I knew what you meant, Sarah. I knew what you meant. Yeah, I'm excited.
There's so many good shows coming in November.
I know, right?
What's coming in November?
I mean, that's when this show comes out, right? That's when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken, because I looked at the calendar. It's like I got a month to rewatch the original show.
That's the same day that Wheel of Time starts.
Wow.
And Hawkeye starts that month as well.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah, so there's a lot.
Can't wait.
It's a lot. So yeah, I started to rewatch Cowboy Bebop, and it's actually the show's on Netflix as well. But I had the DVDs, but Netflix, you can definitely watch it on Netflix right now. Which the English dub is probably the best English dub I've ever seen for anime. The voice he does, Spike Spiegel, is like the best voice I've heard. He's a great actor. I'm trying to remember who I was commenting on reactions to the trailer to several people. I was like, yeah, you gotta watch this show, man. You gotta watch it beforehand. It's really good. Like, I highly recommend. If you want to get into anime, Cowboy Bebop is the show to go to. You'll get into it. You'll be like, ooh, what other anime can I watch? I've
never watched any anime, so maybe I'll start there.
I promise you, I'm not going to. The first episode, I might pop on the first episode of the live action show and see if I like it. I don't have the time to watch the whole ass anime.
It's only it's 26 episodes.
That's too long. That's too much time. Come back when it's 6.
I mean, and yet we watch Power Rangers on a weekly.
Yeah, once a week, bro. Like once a week we watch one episode.
So, and the other thing I started to watch as well is, since it's been 10 years, Once Upon a Time.
Really?
Yeah, I started to, because I think I remember watching
I watched 3 seasons
when it came out, and I was like, ooh, I should rewatch it just to see. And it popped up the pilot, and I was like, ooh, I remember this now. And I might actually watch it through, just all those seasons. I have missed like all 7 seasons. I've only seen the first season.
7 seasons?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Show went for a long time.
It did. And then even
what's her face leave?
God damn it. The ghost.
The ghost of
once upon a time Wonderland or something.
Yep. Yeah.
With the guy from Lost. Oh, the hot guy from Lost.
Sawyer?
No, Saeed.
Oh, Saeed.
Oh my god, Saeed is so hot. People do not. That guy is so good. He's a great actor.
Remember when he tortured that person?
Yes, I do.
Pretty crazy.
I love Saeed.
Saeed's one of my favorite characters. I love him.
Him and Shannon. I love them.
Shannon's kind of a bitch, but yeah.
Shannon was a bitch, but I love him. I'm on the last season of Lost, and me and my husband, I'm sorry, I just took over. We binged it when we were both sick with COVID, and we were just watching it every day. And I'm like, this show, everyone talks shit about it, but when you just binge it, it's not that bad.
See, and that's the thing. It's like, back then it was a weekly show, and people,
I'd be
anticipating for it every week, and it's like, but binging it takes a show into a no other level. It's like you get to see it unfold, as you binge it. But for the old days, the good old days, we had to watch it weekly.
I would have been mad with some episodes. I would have been like, are you kidding me? I gotta wait a whole week.
Man, and that weekly format is still being utilized now, but binging is the thing.
Good. Binging sucks. Binging is bad. Get rid of it. Disney's got the right idea. 1 episode a week.
That hurt my feelings.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know what? You want your shows to have lasting power.
Well, I
Lost
watched 2
wouldn't
shows.
Get a show today. If you dropped it all 22 episodes of season 1 today, it would not get a season 2. Nobody fucking watch it.
Kind of like Manifest.
Yeah.
I fucking love Manifest.
Are you gonna talk about Manifest?
It's so bad. I love it. It's so bad. It got canceled and Netflix picked it up for its final season. I'm so happy. Anyway, Mike, go ahead. I just took over.
What else do you got?
No, that's
it.
That's all I got, man. Like I said, work was just fucking trying to squeeze in something to watch, and I was sleeping half the time. I mean, there kind of is a show that I watched, but I haven't seen the other episodes. I've seen the pilot of this episode of the show, and I'm saving this show for a future episode of this podcast because it's a pretty bad
talk about La Brea?
Show. Yes, that's the damn
All right,
show.
We'll talk
Sean.
about La Brea another time. We'll talk about that another time. Yeah, because I want to watch more of it.
I need to catch up because there's and I heard it does pick up apparently in a episode or two.
I just hope it gets worse. I want it to get worse. I don't want it to get better.
The pilot was just so. Oh God,
we can't talk about it, Mike. We can't talk about it.
I'm saving it.
One of these times we're going to talk about Liberator. We'll get Sarah to watch the first episode.
Okay,
so
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm excited.
You're going to like it. It's really good.
Yeah, the first episode will get you. The first episode.
You're going to like it. It's really shitty.
It's a really well-made show. It's kind of like Lost. Anyways, I have one other thing that I did. I went down a rabbit hole of DC animated movies.
Oh, okay.
I watched the Injustice movie, which was okay. That was fine. Injustice, if you don't know, is the whole premise is Joker. Joker is tired of getting beaten by Batman and wants to have fun for a change. So he tricks Superman into killing Lois and then nukes Metropolis.
Oh my god.
And then Superman goes, "Fuck you," and kills Joker. And then it's like a downhill trend of Superman becoming like a fascist dictator, and it's about it's like a Civil War movie where Batman has his team and Superman has his team and they're duking it out, and it's decent. It's pretty good. It's based off a comic, obviously. The comic is much better, but just because it has more time to breathe. And then I started the new DC animated universe because they used to have they used to have the movies were all in the same universe. It started with Flashpoint Paradox, and then there were a bunch of movies that were all in the same universe, and then it ended with Justice League Darkseid War. I haven't seen all those, but they came out with a Superman movie last year called Man of Tomorrow, I think, and that one kicked off the new DC animated universe. And so pretty much if you're looking for like the MCU of DC, don't look at their live action movies because they're not good. Look to the animated side, because DC makes really good animated movies. And so I watched I watched Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and Justice Society World War II, which is a movie about the Flash going back in time and meeting the original Justice Society of America, who are some really cool characters, like the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and Jay Garrick, the original Flash. It's some cool shit. Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1 and 2 are also in this universe, but I haven't watched those yet. But yeah, I started on the new DC animated universe, and it's real good. I recommend it to people. And that's all I got.
Interesting. And if you watchers are wondering what book I was reading as they were talking about Dune, I was starting to read up on the instruction manual for the TARDIS. So I was getting familiar with the TARDIS. So
yeah, new season's coming, so you got to be ready.
I know.
6 episodes.
Is it a new Doctor?
Not yet.
No, this is the last season of the current Doctor. And yes, it's 6 episodes. It's in the same style as like the old classic Who episodes, where it's like same one story, several episodes. Yeah, and it's an actual Halloween episode too, and it's called the Halloween Apocalypse. Like we never had a Halloween Halloween episode of Doctor Who.
She's got the 6 episode series left, and then 3 specials next year.
You are correct.
Is it still Jodie?
Yep.
Yeah, and then she's gonna regenerate.
Yep.
I assume at the end of the 3rd special.
Yes.
We don't know who. It hasn't been like announced.
We'll find out. No, we'll find out next year.
Yeah. We'll find out who's going to be the 14th.
Probably
Doctor.
next summer-ish. Because the person's going to have to film the regeneration scene, so they're going to have to announce it before then. So probably next summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll probably be watching that, and I'll tell you guys all about that. It's called, they actually named it. It's actually called Doctor Who Flux.
Yeah, that's the name of the season. It's pretty interesting.
Flux.
They're bringing back like Weeping Angels and shit. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Those are the only episodes I've watched, are the Weeping Angel ones. Yeah.
It's good.
Don't blink.
Don't blink.
Scary.
Blink and you're dead.
All right, that's all I wanted to say about that. Sarah, you had something to say?
I actually have a couple of things, so
Okay.
I guess I'll close us out.
There you go.
There's 2 things I want to mention really quick, and then 2 things I want to talk a little bit more on.
Mhm.
So, really quick, I finished the season of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh God! Oh, I'm so sorry.
I won't say anything. This
Okay.
is it's a great show.
Okay.
It's so good. The finale left me satisfied with the ending and also set up season 2. And I think it's just going to be a perfect show. I love it. It was so good.
Exciting.
It's super exciting. I watched in spirit of Halloween. I watched that movie Freaky with Vince Vaughn and Catherine Newton. Is that her name?
Yes, you're correct.
Who I really like her a lot. And it's the same director that did the 2 Happy Death Day movies, which I really like those movies. I did not like this movie. This movie is brutal. The kills are brutal. It is rated R, which his other 2 are PG-13, so it makes sense. Vince Vaughn is great. He's my favorite part. Hi, doggy. What is she? She disagrees with me. Vince Vaughn is fantastic. She's really good in it. It could have been better, but the deaths were rough. And yeah. Okay. Let's I'm going to talk about Midnight Mass first. Have you guys seen that? I'm going to say no.
No.
I'm not into horror stuff, but I feel like I have to get into it because I've heard so many good things about Mike Flanagan.
Okay. Did you guys watch Hill House? Haunting on Hill House?
No, I haven't watched any of his stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm not a horror person.
Neither am I. Okay. First of all, Haunting a Hill House, amazing. Fantastic. Mike Flanagan is so good. Okay. I guess I'm going to talk about Midnight Mass. I won't spoil it. I don't know how to talk about the show. This is honestly like one of the best things I think I've ever seen. Ooh. It's incredible. It's definitely his best. It's super personal, I feel like, to him. I personally think it's better than Haunting a Hill House. I just feel like the story is a lot tighter. And it's definitely a very, very slow burn. But with Hill House, I feel like Hill House really started strong and at the end didn't land as strong for me, or this just got better and better and better. It's only 7 episodes. I have not seen a lot of people talking about this, so I'm surprised to hear you say people have said nothing but good things, because I literally have not seen anyone talk about it at all.
It's all I can see on my timeline.
Really, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. I read some of the reviews on like IMDb, how they have the reviews for each episode, and some people were very like, it's too religious. It's too religious. And I was like, that's the fucking point of this show. So quickly, I'll just kind of explain it, because we did not really know what the show was about. And I think if you kind of know, it's better. It's really not. And people are like, it's not scary. It's not really scary at all. It's not really about that. His stuff really isn't about the scares. It's really about personal relationships and things like that. So this show is about a guy who went to jail for 4 years for killing someone in a car accident. And he goes back home to his small little town on the island of like 100 people or so. And on this island, there is a new priest who comes one Sunday, just shows up because their old priest is doing what is it called? Whatever. He's out doing some like Christian walk thing in like Israel. I forget what they're called. He's doing that kind of thing. So this new priest shows up, and when he shows up, all these different things start to happen, like miracles start to happen, and it starts to get really strange. It's definitely very mystical. There's a lot of weird stuff happening. There is a very brutal dog death scene. I don't know what this guy in killing animals is. I'm just going to say it right now. It's literally the 2nd episode. It's really brutal. Okay. And even my husband couldn't watch it. And we're like, why the fuck is this in here? Because you literally watched this dog die.
No, fuck that.
But it comes back later. Just skip that. It comes back later and makes a lot more sense. Kind of why they did that, why they set it up.
Okay.
Because with Mike Flanagan, like nothing he sets up is for waste. Like everything is super important. His characters are so well defined and so developed. And the main point of this show is really just about religion, and it's about the different aspects of people in religion. And you have the one character, there's a sheriff there who they are Muslim, and a lot of the people in this town are devout
Rahul,
Catholics.
Right?
Yes.
Rahul? Yeah, I fucking
fantastic.
love him.
He's so good. You have this one lady, Bev, who's this very crazy devout Catholic who thinks she's better than everyone else because she's Catholic. You have people who don't believe it. It's very interesting. And me and my husband were both raised Methodist, which is different than Catholic, but kind of similar. So there are like a lot of sermons and a lot of different, these big speeches. And the thing with Mike Flanagan is he loves his monologues, and there is like a lot of monologues, and some of them could be kind of toned down. But like the real like kind of thing that he's asking is like, what happens when people die? And really the point he's trying to make through this whole thing is like, we're all the same. Like everyone's the same. And it's beautiful. I cried at the end. I was kind of speechless. It's intense. It's very intense. It's kind of creepy. But it's not scary. I wouldn't say it's not scary. So I would really encourage everyone to watch it. I feel like a lot of people are kind of missing the point, because a lot of people are like, it's not scary. They talk too much about God and it's too Christian. And it's like, he's not really promoting God, but he's also not promoting it. Like, it's just very interesting. Like, just the way, like, why I feel like I'm not offended. Yes, I'm not offended. If I was a Christian, I wouldn't watch. If I wasn't a Christian, I wouldn't watch this and be offended, because he's not trying to shove it down your throat. It's the opposite. He's just trying to kind of have this discussion of like, some people are crazy. Like, this is kind of how it is. And there's some twist in there that I wish I could talk about, but I won't. But I really encourage everyone to watch it. It's so good. Just kind of skip the dog death scene. Just look it up. It will tell you exactly when to skip it. And the actors are great. He works with a lot of the same people. His wife is the lead. It's really good. I think everyone should watch it. So yeah.
You had one other thing?
Yes. I went back to the movies for the first time since January 2020. And it felt really nice to be back in the theater. Yeah. Eating the popcorn and everything. The theater was packed too. And the movie that we saw was Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Let There Be Carnage. What'd you think?
I hate this movie.
Really? Did you hate the first one?
The first one's okay.
No, because you're wrong. Because it's the other way around. The first one is
the first one's
awful.
way better. The first one's so
that's
better.
You're crazy. We don't have the time to get into why you're crazy, but you are.
No, this movie is not good. I'm so sorry, Andy Serkis. What was happening? What? Like, I don't. Okay, we literally left the movies, and I was like, did he mean to make this movie feel like a 2000s comic book movie? Like, was that the point? Because I kept giving it the benefit of the doubt, because I was like, maybe he just means to make this movie super cheesy and super corny. Yeah.
I think, whereas I think Venom 2018 did not mean to do that.
Yeah.
And did. Venom 2018 was like, we're going to be a serious, edgy, dark movie about this stuff.
This one's ridiculous. Which, and it was fun. I mean, yeah.
I don't expect much from Sony. They don't know what they're doing with these characters.
That's true. No. I like the Eddie and Venom stuff. Like, that's a lot of fun. It was super
when he goes to like the underground gay nightclub rave, like when he becomes like a gay icon by accident, that's my favorite part of the fucking movie.
That was
like,
great.
Be who you want to be. And they're like, yeah.
I mean, I like that it was only an hour and a half. It was a nice, quick, like...
Woody Harrelson's terrible in it.
Yeah, that's the stuff for me. I was like, no, this is
awful. It's awful. What'd you think of that, the post-credit sequence?
I'm confused.
Get confused? I think a lot of people are.
What was that? My husband was like, what was that transported them there? Was that the result of Loki or...
Okay, first of all, major spoilers for the post-credit scene of Venom Let There Be Carnage for everybody who might be watching. My presumption is that it's the spell that Doctor Strange is casting.
That's what my husband
in No Way
said.
Home.
Okay.
I mean, that would make sense. My theory is that they sent him to the MCU so that at the end of No Way Home, we can see Peter Parker go with Venom back to the Sony movies. And then, bye-bye, Spider-Man from the MCU. You're not coming back. I think
that...
Because last time they re-upped for one more movie, which is No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
And No Way Home is doing a lot, which kind of leads me to believe that maybe it's their last go at Spider-Man. And the director is going on to the Fantastic Four after this. There's a lot pointing to, I think, Spider-Man's out of the MCU after No Way Home, and he's going with Venom back to the Sonyverse. That's not to say that he couldn't show up in a future Avengers movie. We're getting into multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
And this movie confirms that the Sonyverse is another universe in the MCU multiverse. Mm-hmm. So, hey, he could show up in an Avengers movie. They could be like, hey, we want to use Tom Holland in Avengers Secret Wars or whatever. And Sony could be like, okay, as long as you also use Tom Hardy's Venom, you can have both of them in the movie.
Venom.
And they can both be in an Avengers movie. But I don't think he's sticking around. I think the ultimate ending of No Way Home is Doctor Strange casts a spell where nobody remembers that Spider-Man was ever in the MCU. And they move on
and we get Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man.
No.
Forever.
And then just
and
Spider-Man's gone from the MCU. I that's what I think's gonna happen. I hope not.
And
I really
Andrew
don't
Garfield
want that to
takes
happen.
over.
No, there's no universe where that happens. But there's possibilities that maybe this just means that Venom's now going to be in the MCU from now on. And hey, I'd prefer that than to lose Spider-Man in the MCU. I'd rather take. But
I feel like they would fight because that's everyone's favorite part is Tom Holland.
I think they fought because from what it was is they were done after Far From Home, that No Way Home is the fight. The fact that we're getting one more and we're getting Tobey Maguire probably and Andrew Garfield probably, but definitely Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx and probably Thomas Hayden Church,
Andrew Garfield all day long.
Willem Dafoe. The fact that we're getting all these people, I think, is what Marvel fought for when they got one more movie for Tom, and I kind of think he's done. But I think he's going to continue to be Spider-Man, just not in the MCU. I don't think they're going to get rid of Tom Holland. I think they'll bring him back and he'll just be Tom Holland in the Venomverse. Venom.
Yeah, I will say my hot take is I still think Spider-Man 3 is a better movie than both these Venom movies.
Do you mean it's a better movie or it's a better Venom? Because you're wrong about
I like
the
Venom.
one.
No. I like the Venom's better. It's a better movie.
Because Venom, I was going to say, if you say Spider-Man 3 is a better movie than Venom, 1 or 2, I'll give it to you. These movies aren't good, but it's not a better interpretation of the character Venom.
Right.
The Venom movies aren't great interpretations of the character Venom either, because you can't do Venom without Spider-Man. It's just not, it's literally not possible, but they're better at least.
So, okay, this might be a spoiler. This is a real quick question.
We've already talked about the massive spoilers of the post-credit scene, so yeah.
Okay, so Woody Harrelson becomes Carnage after he bites Eddie, right? Like, he wasn't already Carnage?
No,
so why was he obsessed with... I thought the whole reason he was obsessed with Eddie is because he knew that Venom was in Eddie and that he wanted to fight Venom. But I was confused. I was like, why is he, like, obsessed with him?
He's just like, you're a good reporter.
That's so stupid.
I want you to tell my story.
So dumb. like why?
Yeah, it's a dumb movie. They fuck up. They do a terrible job with Cletus Cassidy. He's unrecognizable from the comic book character.
I wish he kept the Annie hair. Like,
he's
I wish
not
he kept
supposed
the little girl.
He's not supposed to be a sympathetic bad guy who just had a bad lot in life. Like
I don't even think he was sympathetic.
Well, they try to make him sympathetic at the end. They're like, "Oh, he just wanted to be with the love of his life and all that." I was like, "No, Cletus Cassidy is a remorseless fucking serial killer who will kill every single person in his path because he thinks it's fun."
That was weird. What about the cop when he like opened his eyes and they were blue?
Toxin, I think, is what that character's name is it's another symbiote.
Yay. Venom
3, baby.
Venom 3, baby.
Tom Holland Spider-Man has to team up with Venom to fight this cop who's now a symbiote.
It was weird. It was interesting. I really like the chickens. He's like, that's Donna and Summer. I will not eat them.
There was one scene where he's like jumping around from rooftop to rooftop and shit, and he's like climbing up stuff. And I was like, this scene is Andy Serkis's audition to do a Spider-Man movie. Like just this one scene of him doing kind of web swingy stuff without web swinging because he can't because there's no Spider-Man yet. Like that one scene was him being like, look, I could do a web swinging scene. Like if you guys want me to do Spider-Man or something, like not to be like crazy or anything, but if you guys wanted me to, like I could do it.
Speaking of that, I hated the beginning of this movie. I don't know if it's just because of our AMC, our screen, for half the movie, the projection was not fitted correctly. So it took up the whole screen. Like Pat in the black part too. So everything was off. So I was like, my husband was like, I think it was moving faster. It looked like it was moving faster because it was taking up more than the screen to your eyes. Yeah. So like, I was like, I can't tell if I hate how this is cut because it's just
have to watch it again.
Project
at home when it comes out.
It was just so weird. Like the I'm talking about the whole beginning scene when they separate them, and it just felt it felt totally different from the rest of the movie. Like, just the way it was cut, and I don't know. I just did not like... That was the first thing I was like, oh no. This is the first 5 minutes, and I hate this, like, so much. But
I feel like the movie came out forever ago, but it was really not that long ago.
It was, like, the beginning of the month.
It was. It feels like it's been so long.
I know. So long. Well, speaking of it being so long,
so
farewell. Okay, that's going to be the end of our episode here. Until we meet again. Anyway, that's the end of our episode. We'll be back sometime in the future to talk even more things. We have so much in the future to talk about, what things coming out next month. I don't really know what's coming out next month, but things are coming out. Mm-hmm. And depending on when this podcast episode comes out, that could be anything. So yeah, until then, Shawn, where can people follow you? Down below.
@Shawn_AFK on Twitter. I do stuff.
He does stuff. Mike, what about you?
People can follow me on Twitter @MikeMixtape. Everything I do is in my Twitter bio. I do Into the Grid with Shawn here, Power Rangers podcast, and we're slowly finishing up SPD. I'm actually dating this episode again, but it's true because life's becoming a little bit more busy with work and life. And Into the Grid is a great podcast to check out. And I'm doing other side podcasts too. I've actually been mentioning about a Doctor Who podcast I'm working on, which hence why I'm reading my TARDIS instruction manual and rewatching all of that. Transmit TARDIS, if you want to follow that Doctor Who account I set that up for that. When I eventually upload episodes of that, I should be working on that pretty soon, actually, because I'm finishing up Prime Picks, which is on this feed on Merc with a Movie Blog. Prime Picks is the one. Shawn and Sara have been guests on the episode, and Sarah's episode is actually the most recent episode right now. So give it a listen. It was recorded about 2 months ago.
Yeah, was it really that long ago?
It was 2 months ago before we started this revival of the show. So
it's time to record another one soon.
we gotta start a new cycle of episodes. I'm almost on.
Well, we have time.
So. I'm still finishing uploading that here on the Merc Blog feed. Yes, Prime Picks, definitely listen to that on here. And yeah, that's all about me. Just what about you, Sarah?
You can follow me on Twitter at SCBock, SSEABOCK. I host a Bachelor recap show. Possibly, we'll see. I'm kind of over The Bachelor at this point. Called Go Get That Rose. You can follow that Twitter as well. The ghost is back to say goodbye. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You can listen to us on any podcast feed, I believe. You can also follow this channel at Movie Blog Merc on Twitter. I think that's everything I'm supposed to say, and we will see you next time when we go beyond the screen. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo!